Do you believe the Trump campaign and Trump himself is sincere? Do you see a home? You talk about this as being Bobby's decision. Do you see a home for RFK Jr. in the Trump administration, Health and Human Services, something to that extent?
I would fully support it. I would fully support a strong partnership dedicated to this issue.
What is going on, guys? Hey, welcome back to you. And I wanted to bring you a story about RFK Jr. And it appears that RFK Jr. might allegedly drop out of the race tomorrow and announce it. And allegedly, maybe, is going to endorse Trump. And again, this right here, I don't think anyone knows for a fact, but it appears this is what they're going to do. And I'm going to play a clip for you in a second of RFK's running mate. And she was on a podcast talking about, again, the possibility, maybe, of working with Trump. And again, this right here is big news to me. I mean, it's not really big news. I saw it coming. But it's kind of big news in a way of it surprises me to a degree. It always does. Even though I saw it coming. You know, RFK Jr., his family, longtime Democrats, and working with Trump, working with a Republican. And I do understand that Trump is not your average Republican. But, I mean, again, in a lot of ways, Trump is much further to the right than you would think any Democrat ever working with. And I understand that RFK Jr. is running independent, but we have to understand his family, longtime Democrats. So again, somebody I'm not old or anything, but somebody, late 40s, early 50s, looks at this and thinks to themselves, man, never, never. But anyways, that's possible. But let me play that clip for you of his running mate talking about this. Watch.
I have to say there's only one party that has obstructed a fair election for us. And unfortunately, it was the Democratic Party. They've done everything they can, including creating PACs to prevent us from being able to have ballot access.
Yeah, it's interesting because you were saying that you could stay in and run the risk of Kamala Harris win, or you could walk and you could join forces with Donald Trump. When you say join forces, Nicole, what do you mean specifically?
Well, this idea of a unity party, an idea of us coming around these principles of fighting for liberty in this country, fighting for our children's health. We have the worst chronic health crisis in the world right now. Over 50% of children are diagnosed with some chronic disease. This is unconscionable.
Yeah.
And
again, man, it's crazy. It's crazy that 50% of all kids have chronic disease in this country. We truly have to understand this crazy. And again, it's also crazy that RFK Jr., a lifelong Democrat, believes that the Democratic Party, they're the corrupt ones. And again, he's not a conspiracy theorist or whatever. Neither am I. But we truly have to understand. Pick up a damn book. Read. Again, man, Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, he's got books out. And he details in these books the direction they want to head in. And you see it happening. You see it happening right now. And again, he details what they're wanting to do. You see it happening, but you're some kind of conspiracy theorist. No, you're not. I mean, people have got to wake up to what's going on. And right now, the Democratic Party, they're the ones that are pushing us in the direction that the World Economic Forum wants us to go in.
we are willing to work with anyone who is sincere in their endeavor to fix and address this issue.
Do you believe the Trump campaign and Trump himself is sincere? Do you see a home? You talk about this as being Bobby's decision. Do you see a home for RFK Jr. in the Trump administration, Health and Human Services, something to that extent?
I would fully support it. I would fully support a strong partnership dedicated to this issue. A lot of people comment that in his first term he didn't accomplish many of the things that that mothers really were hoping he would do. Made some big mistakes around the pandemic. However, I think that he is sincere. Yeah, I do.
I think it's interesting because the National Review today kind of agrees with you. It's saying that if you, in fact, join the Trump campaign, I'm not saying the Trump campaign, if you pulled out of the race, that it would be more beneficial to the Trump campaign than the Harris campaign. Is that a fair assessment?
I think that it's a tight race right now.
Right.
I wish that we had a chance to debate, that we had fair representation in the polls. I wish we had a chance to be on stage, because had we likely would have won this election. Yeah. 71% of Americans want a strong third-party option, and we delivered it in terms of ballot access. Yeah. But they're suing us. The DNC-aligned PACs are suing us to get us off the ballots right now. These are frivolous lawsuits. We've had some of the best people involved in our ballot petitions, some of the most precise, signature packages ever submitted to any of the Secretary of States. We've overcome so much to get to this point. So to even be contemplating this is tough. It's a really hard decision, and we don't come to this moment lightly. We come to this moment because in every single decision we make, first and foremost, we want to make sure that we are representing the best interest of health and wellness of young people, children, and future generations.
It's got to be difficult. It's got to be difficult that, for RFK Jr. to come to that place to where he is possibly going to join forces with Trump. I mean, really, the fact of the matter is, RFK Jr., he comes from one of the most famous families in this country, if not the most famous, the Kennedys. And they are lifelong Democrats. We have to understand, to come to that place to where, you realize the Democrats are corrupt. They are corrupt. And again, it's not conspiracy. They're right out there. People will look. All they got to do is open up their eyes, roll their eyes a bit, and squint. You'll see it. You will see it. Again, we have to remember the people that are LGBTQ and trans and Black Lives Matter, whatever. They're part of the establishment. Again, we have to understand they are invited to the White House. Again, to walk around the White House grounds with their tits hanging out and everything else. They are the establishment. They understand. We want them. We want them because we want to brainwash people into believing that, again, you have to back whatever perversion, because if you don't, you're not compassionate. You're not healthy. You're not. And again, we have to understand that is darkness. That is what that is. It's darkness. Absolute hell. Again, man, there is no push for healthy, for normal, for the regular American family, for the average family. There's no push for that. Again, for people to get together and families stay together, there's no push for it. There's push for the trans stuff, the gay stuff, the Black Lives Matter, whatever, and to normalize single parent households, single mother households, to normalize it. It's not normal. That's not the way things were intended to be. Again, kids don't grow up as well with one parent. They don't. They don't do it. Again, we have to remember 70+% of everyone in prison came from homes without fathers. We have truly got to get that. And that's what they're pushing. They're also pushing abortion. Kill your baby. You can kill your baby, and guess what? If you don't have the right to do it in your state, that's because they're being bad Republican and conservative people. Oh my God, what they're doing is they're brainwashing you. They're brainwashing you, and they're trying to replace what is healthy, what is normal, with the what is unhealthy, what is abnormal. We have to say this so again, and there's one party, one pushing that. The Democrats. They're the ones pushing that. They're in the pockets of the pharmaceutical industry. They're in the pockets of so many of these other countries, these companies, these DEI scores, and the World Economic Forum. Pretty much most important. I mean, again, open up your eyes, man. Read. All you gotta do is read. You know, again, Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, he's written books. They're out there. Read what they're about and what their agenda is. And look and see where we're going. Look what's going on right now in Europe. Doesn't look any different than the States. Look what's happening. Again, borders wide open, letting everyone in. Diversity is strength. No, it's not. It's weakness. Again, they're getting people to fight amongst themselves. Then when things get too bad, they're going to lock their shit down. People have truly got to understand what's happening. It's been happening. And people have got to wake up. They got to open their eyes. And again, that's what Kennedy is saying. That's why he is allegedly, possibly going to endorse Trump, possibly join forces with him, because he understands right now there's only one party, and that's part of a party. It's not the rhinos. That's going in the direction of good. And again, it's MAGA. I mean, sorry, it is. There's a certain understanding of just how bad things are getting and how corrupt the establishment truly is. But guys, man, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.
You son of a.